through your heart center. Taking some deeper breaths. And really trying to fill up those lungs and get the, anything that's kind of stuck on the inside, get that moving. Because that inside, that's where all of our muscles are. And that's, our lungs want to expand, our rib cage, and so good for us to really focus on that internal expansion. You can sigh it out too if that feels good. And if you have a word or phrase of intention or an affirmation, say that to yourself. I believe I can is such an amazing one for anybody. Focusing on what we can do, just a complete different mindset, mind frame than how it's easy to focus on the aches and the pains and the things we can't do. But right now we can practice that belief in ourselves and in each other. Like having this community is so amazing. So just saying your intention to yourself 3 times slowly as you breathe. Good. And then you can blink open your eyes, feel your feet on the floor, maybe give them a little press into the ground. Feel your sits bones on your chair, nice and supported. And we'll start with some sun breaths, reaching your arms out to the side, inhaling. Maybe the arms just come part way up the first couple of times, and then lowering your arms down. Inhaling, reaching up, maybe a little higher each time, and then floating, exhaling down. You can tip your chin down. Inhale, arms up, looking up. Exhale, arms down, looking down. Feel the stretch through the back of your neck. Inhale, reaching up, looking up. Exhale, floating down. One more time. Big sun breath. Imagine we're tracing the outer edge of the sun with our arms. And sitting up nice and tall and taking some shoulder circles, one at a time, alternating. Option to bend your elbows or move with reaching your arms far back, like a back stroke. Maybe one arm is happy doing this, or maybe both, or neither. Just noticing where you're at. Bring your arms down by your side, shake them out. We're just getting some movement in first, and then bringing the shoulders forward. Maybe bending the elbows or straight crawl strokes. Feeling a little twist through your torso as you do this, and breathing. Bring your arms down by your sides, give them a shake. Bring your hands to your knees and your feet open a little bit farther apart. We're just gonna reach up. It's more so a reach than a side stretch, but just really opening up through one side of your body. Bring it back down to your knee and reach up through the other side. And back down. Let's do that a couple more times. Reaching way up, really high. And down. And reaching, and bring it back down. Now you're going to reach across your body as if you're kind of reaching out in the distance a little bit. Feel where that stretch is coming through your back. Bring your hand back to your thigh. Reach across in the other direction. Back to center. One more time each side. So a little bit of a spinal twist. And reaching out to the other side. Good. Bring your hands back to center and bring your feet a little bit closer together, and let's just work into the feet for a moment. So bringing your heels up and down or alternating, lifting your heels one at a time. And then you could lift the opposite toes. So one heel lifts and the opposite foot lifts and going back and forth, maybe at that walking pace. Taking a big breath. And then bring your feet flat. Lift up on your toes and see if you can kind of maybe lean forward a little bit into your toes, feeling a toe stretch. And if you want more of a stretch, you could bring your feet back closer to your chair and maybe feel a little bit more of a toe stretch there. So just kind of depending on your pain-free range of motion in your toes. And then lifting up and send your feet forward, planting your heels down, and just give your toes a little wiggle, releasing that tension. You could kind of grip your toes and open them up lightly so that you're not getting any cramps in your feet. And also feel free to do this with your hands, squeezing and opening several times. Good. And then we're going to extend and bend one leg several times. Make sure you're seated back in your chair so it supports your leg, or you could hold underneath your leg. Notice how your knee is feeling, and then try to squeeze those quadricep muscles each time that you lift your leg. And then as you kick it out, maybe hold your leg or place your foot on a block for support. Either way, pointing and flexing your foot and that block. It's okay if it rocks back and forth like mine is. And then taking some ankle circles. The longer you can hold your foot up here, the more strengthening you're getting in your thigh muscles. And opposite ankle circles. Good. And then bring your foot down, releasing any tension. You could bring your knee in and out a few times. We're going to grab the strap and do that again. So either you're extending your legs straight out with the strap underneath your foot, either the ball of your foot or the arch of your foot, or you could support it with your heel on a block. So either resting it on the block or lifting it up. And feel that stretch. You can really pull your toes back, pressing through your heel. If you want to go deeper, slide your hand down the strap. Maybe rest one elbow on your other knee. And that might be pretty deep. If you go deep, remember you can always back out of it at any time. Breathe into the stretch. And then inhale, sitting up, release your foot down to the ground, and you can just take the strap out for a moment. And again, just take any like little tapping movements through your foot or that in and out movement through your hip and releasing tension. We're going to do one more thing on this side with the strap. So again, placing it underneath your foot, and then try to have the strap more so around the ball of your foot. And if your legs are a little bit shorter, you might want to have a block. We're going to do that pedal movement where we are holding onto the strap with one or both hands, and then you're pressing your foot down into the strap. So it's nice to have that block just so your heel can reach the ground. So you're imagining, driving and pressing your foot into the pedal or the brake pedal, the gas or the brake, and then pulling it back and stretching through your calf, and then pressing it down again and pulling it back. One more time, pressing it down and pulling it back. Nice. So release the strap. And I feel like kind of rolling my ankle around, but you could, take any movements that feel good here. And then we'll move over to the other leg, extending and bending your knee several times, getting a little bit of motion. There's a saying, motion is lotion. So in a sense, we're creating lotion on the inside of our knee joint. Then holding your leg out, either holding it up using your muscles or setting your foot on a block if you would like to. And point and flex. Take ankle circle, both directions. Nice. Place your foot down. You can release that tension, bringing your leg in and out a few times. And get your strap ready, placing it under your foot. And then lifting your foot up. So either holding it up here or finding a block to rest your heel on it for that deeper hamstring stretch. If you'd like to go deeper with it, you can always slide your hand down the strap or rest your elbows on your other knee. And breathe into that stretched feeling. Nice. And then inhale as you sit up. Just let your leg come down to the floor again. You can tap it out or bring it in and out a few times. All right, bring your strap down again and maybe that block in front of you. And then hanging onto the strap, try to get the strap around the ball of your foot. And then you're kind of pulling your foot back as you press your foot into the strap, like you're maybe speeding. And then pull your foot back, feel that stretch through your calf. Hi Nolan, I hope you are able to get on. And then pressing your foot down and pulling it back. Do that one more time. Press, offering resistance. It's okay, you don't want your hands to be painful, but it's good to practice this. This is strengthening your hands too. And then pull your foot back. Nice. And then go ahead and just release. And you can bring the block over to the side and just let your strap down if you want to. Let's go up to the hands. Wiggle those fingers out. Stretch your hands out and bring your palms out in front. And then make fists, curling your fists in and even feeling your biceps turn on. Hi, Nolan. And then opening those hands wide and make the bicep curls and open wide. Bicep curls and open. Good. Bring your hands to your heart center. Press your palms lightly into each other. And then start pressing the pads of your fingertips as you pull your palms away into the starfish push-ups. And then slowly bringing the palms together. And then pressing your palms away. And bringing your palms back together. One more time, pressing your palms away and back together. Good, clasp your hands and then stretch them down in front of you, stretching through your forearms and your fingers. Take a deep breath. And then bring your hands back to heart center, clasping your hands. Pick one other angle, either straight out in front or maybe up a little bit. Whatever feels good, just a different angle to stretch in. Nice, and then bring your hands back to heart center, open your arms wide. Exhale, diving forward. We'll go through Robin's breath a couple times. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, hands to heart center. Take a breath just to reset, and we'll go through that one more time. So take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, open up wide. Diving forward on your exhale. And hands to heart center. Inhale. Nice. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit more movement through our torso next. Come to the middle of your chair and then reaching your arms into cactus arms. First, engaging the deep core muscles by turning to one side. We're gonna do this 3 times. So we're coming back to center. We're gonna move into the same side. Okay, so come back into that same side and slowly release it to center. And then come into the same twist again, same side 3 times. Come back to center and let's go to the other side 3 times. So twist to the side, back to center, and maybe a little bit more each time, and then out to the side, back to center, nice and slow. Make sure you don't get dizzy. One more time, to the side, and back to center. Good, bring your arms down by your sides, give them a shake. Take a breath. Now we'll take a deeper twist. So reaching your arms up overhead. Exhale, open up to one side. Front hand rests on your opposite knee as your back hand rests on your dog behind me or behind your chair. And sitting up nice and tall in your spinal twist. Maybe looking further back as you are here for a moment. And then opening your eyes wide and looking around, blinking. Turn just your head to look forward over your other shoulder. Tip your chin down just a little bit. Bring your chin back to neutral and then look back again. When you're looking back, now try tipping your chin down and bringing your chin back and unwinding slowly, releasing, bringing your arms to center, reaching up. Exhale, open up to the other side. Front hand rests on your opposite knee, back arm can rest beside you or over the back of your chair if it's comfortable. Looking off to the side, just take a couple of deep breaths. Maybe look a little bit further back. And then make sure your shoulders are relaxed here too. Open your eyes wide as you look around, up and down, and side to side. Slowly turn just your head to look forward over your other shoulder. Tip your chin down towards your chest. Lift your chin. Slowly look back. Tip your chin down. And lift your chin. Slowly unwind, coming back to center, reaching your arms up. Exhale, cactus. Open up through your chest. Good. And now we're going to do just a little bit more movement through the hips so we can just bring everything together. So come down to one leg and bring it in and out a few times. And then take some hip circles in one direction. Use your hip muscles as much as possible. And reverse direction. Get it warmed up. Place your foot on the ground. And then pick your knee up and give it a good squeeze, hugging it in for this deep stretch. You could even point and flex your foot. Bring your ankle over your knee for figure 4. And in figure 4, scoot your hips back toward the chair. If you'd like to if you have a bolster or pillow and want to use that to rest on, feel free. Sometimes it's nice to bring it up on its side so your arms can just kind of flop over. Take some deep breaths as you find your depth, and of course you can always massage your leg and foot. Maybe bringing your chin down. Staying here for several breaths so that your body can start to release. However, if it's so tight that your body is just tightening up, then it doesn't allow for that release. So you want to make sure you're only going so far where your body can soften little by little. You could say your intention or affirmation to yourself, or say, I believe I can. And then on your next inhale, lift up through your belly first. So pull your belly in, and then inhale, rising up. And maybe rock that knee side to side a few times. And then bring your foot down and releasing tension, either rocking it or extending and bending. You can even rub your leg, getting some blood flow back in there. And then we'll go over to the other side. So other leg moves in and out. If that's feeling good, then take those hip circles up and around as it feels good, as it's right for you. And then the other direction. Bring your foot down, pick your knee up, hug it in, find that good angle for you. Maybe point and flex a few times. And then placing your ankle over your knee. Scoot your hips back in your chair, and maybe if you have a pillow or bolster, maybe doing that on this side as well. If not, just resting your hands or forearms on your lap. And taking any massage movements through your foot or your leg all the way up to your low back. And then slowly starting to find your depth, that depth that allows for that slow release. As we stay here for several moments, feel the expansion of your breath. See if you can feel your breath into that space between your shoulders and the back side of your heart. Maybe your chin comes down. And then inhale, lifting up through your belly and sitting up. And feel free to take some rocking motions first. And place your foot on the ground. And I really like extending and bending my knee since it was just bent for a while, and maybe rubbing from your hip down to your knee a few times. So now we're going to incorporate some of the shoulders with the knees. So we're going to bring our arms out to cactus, and we're going to be two options here. One would be to bring your hand to your opposite knee and keeping your feet on the ground, or you could try bringing your elbow to your opposite knee and lifting your knee up. So elbow to knee, or it could just be hand to knee. So we're crossing the body and maybe bringing those knees up each time. So elbow to knee, elbow to knee. Good. This is a pretty big movement because we're really using a lot of the core muscles to bring those knees up. We're twisting, we're doing opposite things. Couple more times, good. All right, then come back to center, shake your arms out. Good, and we're gonna do another one, a little bit different, but similar similar thought behind it. So one arm is gonna reach over to the side, and you're gonna be stepping that foot up, the foot on that same side, and then coming back to center. And then reach the other arm across the body and you step your foot out to the side and come back to center. So, just in case you're wondering, both arm and leg on the same side of your body is moving. So you're crossing with your arm and stepping out with your leg. And then come back to center and keep it moving at your pace. Cross and step, back to center. Cross and step, back to center. Good. Reaching each time. You could also just move that leg out just a little bit. It could be a tiny step out to the side. And you could reach more in the front as you cross. Or you could reach up higher. Doing different angles. Good. So, nice. Maybe one or two more just to balance it out wherever you're at and coming back to center. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna go into, let's do our Macarena. And so make sure you're seated in the middle of your seat and sitting up nice and tall. You're gonna bring one arm out in front and then the other arm. Flip your hand over and hand. And then shoulder. So your opposite shoulder and shoulder. And then ear, ear, belly, belly. Good. Hip, hip. And then we're going to count. 1, 2, 3, and clap. And as you count 1, 2, 3, do that with me. Do the 1, 2, 3. That's good, you know, just for coordination of the fingers and talking and everything. But if you want to do that and do that little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle each time, you can do that too. So lots of things going on. Let's try it again. Reach one arm out and arm. Hand, hand, shoulder, shoulder, ear, ear, belly, belly, hip, hip. Count. 1, 2, 3, and clap. Good. Let's try it again. Arm, arm, hand, hand, shoulder, shoulder, ear, ear, belly, belly, hip, hip. Count. 1, 2, 3, and clap. Good. And so if you really like the wiggle part, if that feels good on your body, then focus on that. Because that, you know, kind of is like a different movement as we're kind of like wiggling in our seat. And if you don't like that part, then just do the counting part or try both if you can. So let's go into our warrior series next. And we'll start by bringing one leg out to the side. I'm taking my opposite, I usually step my right foot out, but I'm trying to not always do the same thing every time. So I'm stepping my left foot out this time first. And option to place your block underneath your leg and bring your arms out to that warrior 2 position. Take a deep breath and then bring your arms to cactus. And we'll do that same torso movement, moving toward your extended leg. So you can even look down at your extended straight leg and then come back to center. Good. Reach your arms up. Float your hand down to your extended straighter leg and take that reverse warrior or exalted warrior. You can look up at your hand. Beautiful. Bring your arms out to the sides in warrior two. And then bring your hand or forearm down to your bent knee. Reach the other arm up and over. And if your shoulder is okay with it, take some big, slow arm circles. And you can try, see if you like to go backwards or forwards with your arm. I really like going backwards because I feel like it opens up my chest. Finish with your arm reaching up. Inhale, back to warrior two. And just feeling that strength, stability through your arms. Good. Float your arms down. Bring your leg back to center. And if you want to use the block, bring it over to the other side as you step your other foot out to the side. Extending the leg out. Reaching your arms out to the sides in warrior two. Take a breath. And then bring your arms to cactus. And turn through your torso to face your extended leg, your straighter leg. Just look down at your leg. And then come back to center. Reach your arms out and sweep them up. Bring your arm down to your straight leg and looking up for exalted warrior. Good. Bring that hand down or forearm down to your knee. Reach the other arm up for a side stretch. Maybe take those big arm circles. You can try forwards or backwards or both. Finish with your arm reaching up, lifting you up to warrior two again. We're going to hold this just for a little bit longer, reaching your fingers in opposite directions. Float your hands down, bring your leg back to center. Nice. So let's go ahead and take another cross body movement where we're extending one leg and reaching your opposite hand out, maybe close to touching your toes. And as you do that, you might also feel a stretch. So reach the other leg out and opposite arm. So you're crossing your body with your arm, and you can go faster with this, keep it moving, or if you want to take more of a stretch and just hold it and feel that stretch, either way, it's very beneficial to do both of those. Good. A couple more. You can kind of lean forward as you're doing it, see if it feels good. And then balance it out on both sides, coming back to center. So have your feet not too far out, not all the way in. So a little bit of distance. You could even bring a block down between your feet. So that would be a good distance to have your feet. And if you do have a block, we might use it there as well. So we're going to inhale. So your hands are on your knees, and you're going to lean your heart forward, but keep shining your heart forward. We're leaning forward, but the chest is lifted, chin is lifted a little bit. And then we're going to exhale just to come down a little bit, but keep your hands on your knees. We're going to rise up again. So kind of moving in and out of the hips and then lowering down. Use your arm strength to support you, but also use that deep core engagement. And if you can do this without really using your arms, your hands very much, then you're strengthening your core a little bit more. So kind of leaning down, maybe even hover your hands off your knees if you can hold that, if it's okay in your back. And then lift up using your deep core engagement. So that is strengthening your core, but it's also supporting your back. So we're getting some movement in through the hips. And then if you would like to take a forward fold, so several options. One is with the bolster, of course, so placing that across. You could also bring your elbows to your knees, where your head could maybe come down, or if you want to bring your hands down to the block or the floor, or hang on to your ankles. Lots of different ranges of depth that you can go here. As long as you're not lightheaded, take some deep breaths wherever you are. On your next inhale, lift up through your belly and then start to rise. Use your hands to help you out. Good. So this time we're going to lean forward, and then you're going to pick up one knee as you lean back. So you could use your hands or not. You can really pull your knee up, and then we're going to step the foot down and lean forward again. And then lean back and pick up the other knee. Step it down, lean forward, pick up your other knee, leaning back. Step it down, lean forward, and you can slow this way down if you want to. I wouldn't go too much faster than this. So just taking your time with the leaning forward and picking one knee up at a time. Stepping it down. Good. And then finishing out so that you feel like you're balanced. And coming back to a seated, just upright position. And we'll work on the shoulders and the neck a little bit. So I would like for you, we're going to start into so this is a cat and cow position, but it's just with our upper back. So we're not going to do really much with the pelvis. So you keep your pelvis straight as much as possible. If it rounds, that's okay. But we're really going to think about bringing the shoulders and hands in and tucking your chin and feeling that stretch between your shoulders on the back of your neck. Notice what you're feeling there. And then very smooth and slow, open up, pull your shoulders back. Just lift your chin a little bit. We don't want to dump our head back. You're just engaging the shoulder blades behind you. Good. And then release tension. Just let your shoulders relax for a moment. We're going to do that a couple more times. So your hands come in toward your thighs, and then you're rounding your shoulders, bringing your chin to your chest. And then slowly lifting your head and pulling your shoulders back. And then relax. And try to make this smooth. Each transition smooth. Try not to just go from one to the next to the next. Those transitions, as you know, like with our gentle somatic shoulder shrugs, the transition that is the thing. That is helping release tension and pain. So that is the most important part. So let's do that one more time. Bring your hands, forearms in, shoulders come in and close toward your ears maybe, or your chin is tucked. Feel that stretch behind your back. Slow and smooth. Start to open it up, pulling your shoulders back. Chin lifts just a little bit. Keep breathing, and then slowly release your shoulders. Take a breath. Close your eyes. Notice what you feel. There's a lot going on in that area of our back, neck, and shoulders. Even our chest, we're working on that too. All right, so blink open your eyes and let's do our shoulder shrugs, bringing your shoulders up towards your ears. Maybe even bring your arms up to the sides. And remember, your neck pain is on the back of your neck, do this with your head tipped down. I'm going to do that today. And then very, very slowly smooth your shoulders out as they come down. Notice how it is this first time. Notice the area you need to work on the most. Pause at the bottom. And then let's do that again. Bringing your shoulders up either towards your ears, or if your head is tipped, kind of pulling your shoulders back and up. And then slowly disengage the muscles, allowing them to smooth out. Breathing normally. Allow your shoulders to relax when you get to the bottom. And let's do it. We're going to do it 2 more times. I'm going to cue it a little bit differently this time. Bring your shoulders up. Hug them up there, 3 seconds. And then let's just go 1/3 of the way. So just release slowly, 1/3 of the way, and pause. Release another 1/3 of the way, and pause. Notice which one was maybe shakier. And then release the last 1/3 of the way. And notice which of those 3 is the shakiest or like jumpiest for you. And so this last time, you're gonna go to that jumpiest spot. So you might not bring your shoulders all the way up. My jumpiest spot was the last 1/3. So I'm gonna go there. I'm just gonna go to that last 1/3. Maybe yours is at the top, maybe it's toward the bottom. Hold them there. Be really mindful of this shakiest spot and see if you can slow it down twice as much. Keep breathing. And then when your shoulders get to the bottom, but don't let me rush you, just take a breath or 2, sit up nice and straight. Place your hands on your thighs. Just notice what you feel. Good. Let's take that little rocking motion side to side like a blade of grass. You can step your feet out a little bit wider and allow your spine to integrate what we've done so far. Good. Come back to center and take a little bit of that leaning forward, almost like you're making an S curve with your spine going forward and back. Nice. Sit your hips all the way back in the chair, and let's do. I was just thinking we're going to go into our 5-pointed star, but let's do something else first, just to get a little bit more blood flowing. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of a walk. So if you want to bring those feet up, and it could be a tapping movement. You can swing your arms. Today I want to focus a little bit more on that faster movement. So getting those legs moving, so it could be just the legs, it could be just the arms, but getting your muscles to move fast. And sometimes that's really needed in life. Sometimes we have to move those muscles fast, and so we want to be ready to do that. And then whenever you're feeling kind of tired out from that, go ahead and pause. And then just take a breath or 2. Good. And so now we'll do our 5-pointed star since we got a little bit more warmed up. Bring your feet out wide and hands at heart center, sitting up nice and tall with your hips back in your chair. Reaching your arms out and maybe kicking those legs out. Expansive. You could take some ankle circles and wrist circles. Ooh, nice. Bring it back. Feet come down, hands to heart center. Take a breath. Good. Let's try that again. Reaching everything out in every direction. Really spread those fingers, spread your toes. Keep breathing. Ooh, beautiful. Bring it back down, hands to heart center. Take a breath. We're going to do it one more time. Big expansion. Send your intention out into the world, to each other, to those around you. Good. Bring it back to center. Release your arms. Bring your legs closer together and come into the middle of your seat. So we're going to be eventually coming up to standing. And so make sure, first ask yourself, should I stand today? Is that right for me today? And if not, stay in your chair. If so, make sure there's nothing around you that you're going to trip on. And bring in any support that you would like to use. We'll start by taking our leaning forward motions, and you can bring those arms in. Bicep curls, squeezing your fists as you lean back, and airplane arms as you lean forward and back. Really feeling your feet pressing into the floor each time you lean forward. If you want to hold it longer, maybe just really strengthening as you're in this airplane pose, strengthening your triceps behind you. Good, and then pulling it back, and maybe you're not touching the back of your chair, I'm not, and then you just kind of hold really nice and tight, and one or two more times. Breathing, and then bringing your hands to your knees, and starting to rock into your feet, maybe lifting off of the chair, and lowering a few times. Notice how your knees are feeling and feet. Good. Eventually coming to our chair pose. Halfway lifted. Arms could be in any position that's right for you, or cross-country skiing. You could do a little mini version of that too. Just kind of moving your elbows back and forth. If you're staying in your chair, you could do one of these arm positions as well. Good. And then either reaching your hands back to sit down, or maybe you don't use your hands. Ooh, just lean back in your chair, kick your legs out. And we'll do one more longer hold like that, and we'll come to be seated before we go to standing. So finding your halfway lifted chair pose again, maybe a different arm position this time. Some deep breaths. Feel your feet. Try to feel your toes on the ground, your heels on the ground. And then eventually coming to seated again. That was a good one. Wow. You guys are getting strong. Or you are strong. And so this time we'll come up to standing. So find your way up to standing. Make sure it's right for you. You can always come back in your chair. You could just kind of rock side to side. Find your way to maybe the back of your chair or a table. Nice. I need to move my stuff out of the way. Practice what you preach. All right, so let's come into, after we do a few of these side-to-side movements, and you could, take any extra steps with it if you want to. I'm just bending my knee each time, kind of kicking my heel up behind me. And then we're going to take a wider stance. And for a moment, if you'd like to experience maybe reaching one hand up or both, it could be both in 5-pointed star, and make sure you feel supported and strong and stable. Good. And then bring your hand, one or both. Maybe if you want to have one hand off of your chair, you could just bring it to your heart. Make sure your toes are kind of pointing out to the sides. And then we're going to take just a little bit of a squat here. So we're just lowering down and lifting up. Notice if that's right. It's not right for everybody. So as you do this, kind of send your tailbone back and your chest is maybe leaning forward a little bit. And so you're hinging. I'm going to turn to the side just to show you as I do this that I'm not coming just straight down unless that's right for your body, but kind of hinging your hips back as you bend your knees and then coming back up. So it depends on your structure, your body structure, which of those might feel better for you, but sometimes hinging those hips back really helps support the lower torso and back. So a couple more of those if they're feeling good. Good, nice. And then turn towards your chair to hang on with both hands as you step one foot behind you and bending into the front knee and really taking this as deep as feels good for you, hands or forearms on the back of your chair. You could always maybe bring your hands to the seat of the chair. Pressing through your back heel for that calf stretch. Feels so good. You can even bend and straighten your back knee. And then rising up, we'll switch over to the other side. Stepping the back foot further back and bending into your front knee. That back heel, remember your back heel could be planted on the ground or it could be lifted. Just a slightly different stretch on that back leg. So maybe coming further down to your forearms or hands on the seat of the chair. Press into your back heel. You can always, I should have mentioned this on the other side, but you can always kind of lift your back heel up and lower it down. Take a deep breath. And inhale as you rise, bringing your feet together. And I'd like to give you the option of doing a plank position today. So as we make our way down, one option is taking a forward fold first with your hands or forearms on your chair. Legs can be straight or bent. But then from this position, either with your forearms on the chair or your hands on the chair, just walking your feet back a little bit where you can bring a little bit more weight into your arms and press away from the chair. So again, it could be your hands, which I'm doing right now, that are on the chair, or it could be your forearms on the chair and maybe grip the side, the edge of the chair like I am here. And in either case, if you feel like you're kind of falling between your shoulders, see if you can press away. And you can hold that longer if you'd like to, or just come down to one or both knees. Eventually making your way onto your back. Arms can just be down by your sides. And maybe just take a little rocking motion side to side first. And then bring one knee towards your chest. Kind of hug it in a little bit. You can point and flex your foot or take ankle circles. Extend your right leg up toward the ceiling. Grab behind your leg. And again, you can point and flex or turn your ankle around. Good. Bend your knee, plant your foot on the floor, and we'll do the other leg. So now I'm hugging my left knee to my chest, and any movements through your foot. And extend your foot up toward the ceiling with a straighter leg, and then pull behind your knee to pull your leg in a little bit. And take those ankle circles. Good. Bend your knee, plant your foot on the ground, and so either you can hug your knees and rock side to side, or keep your feet on the ground and rock side to side. Feel that lower back massage as you do this. Good. And bring your feet down to the ground. And take a long body stretch. So it's just straighten your legs out. If you're in a chair, you can take a nice long body stretch too. Reaching your hands and your feet in opposite directions. If you feel like yawning, like I do, then let it out. Bring your arms down by your hips, and then if you want to bring a bolster under your knees or cover up with a blanket, feel free to do that for our relaxation portion for the end of class. And just taking some deep breaths. Let yourself settle in, make any adjustments. And bring your breath awareness down to your feet. And imagine that you could breathe in and out through your feet. And then bring your awareness to your hands, and imagine that you could breathe in and out through your hands, fully relaxing your hands. And then bring awareness up to your head. Imagine breathing and exhaling through the crown of your head. And then bring your awareness back to your heart center, just simply to breathe and let go. And take these next couple of minutes in silence, and I will call you out when we're finished. Starting to take some deeper breaths again. Say your intention to yourself again, or say, I believe I can. And then start to take some gentle movements through your hands and feet, waking yourself up. You can take a long body stretch or roll over to one side. And feel free to stay here longer or join me seated and we'll close out together. So I say namaste.